what's going on, guys? Welcome back. We got big guests today. I'm talking big guests. I mean, it's not every day you get to play at Wembley. Some pros don't even get there, but we got two big boys in the building. One scored at Wembley, one got man of the match. I mean, what can I say? Boys, Ruff and Mickey Parcell, how we doing?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, really good. Thank you.
How's life been since, winning at Wembley?
Yeah, mate, it's crazy, really. Like, we were just chatting before, like, saying, I've watched it back countless times. Like, it's like you just said on the intro, like, it's something you dream of every single day as a kid, and then walking out there, looking around the stadium, like, it still didn't even sink in when we walked out before. Well, for me, it didn't anyway. And it weren't until we walked out to start the game, and you just think, like, yeah, we're there. Like, it's mad. It's hard to put it into words. It is hard. It is.
Like, it must be because, like, for me, like, the build up to, like, watching you lot, because obviously Ellis plays for you lot, and me and Ellis are close friends.
Yeah.
Like, watching you boys go through, like, the rounds, and you, like, beat some big teams along the way. Like, you beat Dulwich, Tunbridge, and you beat Maidstone, and that game was crazy. I must say the defending was awful.
It was a bad game.
Terrible.
What was it? Nine goal thriller.
Bro, I swear that I've never seen 3 goals going so quick.
It's terrible.
Like, typical non-league over the top goal. Like, what the hell was that about?
I mean, I didn't play in that game. I was suspended, so yeah, I won't talk about the defending that game.
I was playing for Maidstone, mate. I was terrible that game. So, yeah, no, I just think the run, and especially because obviously lockdown and things like that, we were like our only outside interaction because we were training.
Yeah.
Because we got elite club status, so we were still training, but that's all we knew. We only knew each other because you're not seeing family because obviously everyone's in lockdown, and I think it kind of like brought us all together quick. And when you'd go into a game, it was like, this could be your last one. And we had that feeling for 5 months. It could be your last game of the year. So it kind of made you work that a bit harder.
Yeah, I think personally that everything that's gone on over the last year, and listen, it's been a bad year for quite a lot of people, but I don't think we'd have done what we've done
1,000,000%.
if we weren't in that situation. Like Ruffy just said, like, we played 7 games, I think, leading up to the final. The first couple, we were out of lockdown, but then I think we went back into lockdown beginning of the year in January. And then literally them last 3-4 games from the Maidstone game onwards. So we played Maidstone, Darlington, Notts County, and then the cup final. Like, we didn't see friends, we didn't see family. Like, it was literally just us boys that we were seeing through the week. So it just gave us that extra little bit of togetherness, do you know what I'm saying? And there weren't a point for me where I didn't think we were going to win a game.
Nah. It just kind of, we always felt like we had a chance.
Yeah.
Like, if you had told us at the start of the year we were going to beat Notts County.
See, that's what I thought you lot were going to fall. Like, I'll be real, when I was looking at it, I was like, like, last 4, Notts County, I don't think you guys are going to make it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when the draw come out, I was a bit like, we would have probably rather Hereford in the semis. Yeah. Because they were the other lower team. But then it got to Notts County, and then it's 3-2, and we've still got like 10 minutes, and you're like, anything can happen, especially when you got Wrighty in goal, who's just so good at saving pens. You've always got a chance. So we knew if we take them there, then it's in the hands of whoever.
Yeah.
Coming up late, you've done that a lot, like penalty shootouts, scoring goals in the last minute, like I said, in the Maidstone game. And then, like, scoring in Wembley, like, taught me through that. Like I said, not everyone gets to go Wembley in itself, but to go Wembley, score at Wembley, and win the FA Trophy at Wembley, like, what's that like?
Oh, if I had £1 for it, every time someone asked me that. But and I say the same thing, you can't put into words, like, in the moment, it doesn't hit you, because you're just like, it's a game. We're 1-1. The next thought in my head was, let's get the ball back, let's go and score another. Yeah. Because I could not last extra time. I was cramping and all sorts, but then you look back on it, and then every time, no joke, I've probably seen mine, Nash's and Ellis's goal over 300 times.
Yeah. That's
like,
goosebumps, man.
You watch it, like, you just be chilling there and you put it on, and Nash's especially, like, just, it gives you like goosebumps, and you're just like, to think that you were there. But I always knew that we would have a chance. I knew we would have a chance. It's just whether we took them chances, and I knew the moment we went 1-1, the game was done.
Over, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your goal was probably the worst goal that's ever been scored. If there is a highlight reel of every goal at Wembley, yours has got to be the worst goal ever.
Take 'em.
It don't matter. It don't matter how it goes in, like what part of the body it comes off. Listen, you scored at Wembley, mate, and I think that's the only thing that I wish would have happened if I could change it, is that I'd have scored as well. But listen, I'm a defender. I do my job and let these boys take the plaudits, you know what I mean?
So man of the match at Wembley, though, talk me through that. Especially as a defender, like, you know what? Because
no, do you know what? I mean, listen, Nashi got MOM, and a funny little story, like, at half-time, Nashi was probably having his worst game in a run. Like, he was poor, man. Like, trampoline touch. Like, he'll admit it himself. But at half-time, he came in and, like, he was fuming. Like, proper had the ump. I was like, Nashi, mate, like, forget how you're playing. Like, enjoy the experience. Keep working hard. You'll get another chance. And I said to him, you might score in the 46th minute. You might score in the 86th minute. And I remember when he scored, I ran over to him to celebrate. And I said, mate, look up at the clock. And it was the 86th minute. And I was like, it was just another story that fit the run and fit the way that we believed we were never going to lose. Like them scoring in the first half, running the length of the pitch to celebrate. Like, listen, fair play to lad. He scored at Wembley, innit? So his emotions there, the same as when Ruffy, Nashi and Ellis scored. Them emotions take over. But the way they celebrated, for me, gave us even more belief. 100%. Because like you said, we'd come back from them positions probably 6 times, maybe more, that we'd been behind in a game. So them scoring was probably the best thing that happened to us on the day. And we just knew if we got in at half-time, because we had to ride quite a lot of pressure.
I'd say in the first half,
especially like as a defender, like there was a lot of times where we were defending quite hard. But yeah, 1-0 at half-time was probably the best result for us, because we knew we weren't out of the game. And when his header and net, shoulder, whatever it was, went in. Like, I mean, we had a chance just before.
Yeah.
I think I put a ball through to Nashi and he sort of dinked the keeper and the guy cleared it off the line, and there was that little bit of like, this might be a little step too far, you know, like we've come a long way. But then, when his goal went in, that was it. I think it was written. We was always going to win that game. And
how much of a chance do you guys feel like you had having your manager coaching you guys throughout the season? Because he's won it 4 times. Yeah. So for you boys to go in and do it a 5th for him, like, what was that like between you and the manager, and how has he been throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Stimo. People have probably got mixed opinions on Stimo, but I've played for him for 2 years now, and he's comfortably the best manager that I've played under. Like,
I'd agree with that.
His man management with the players is second to none. And like you said, the fact that he's now won that trophy 5 times, like that record's not being broken. 5 times to win a non-league competition, the best competition in non-league. It's crazy stuff, mate. Like 5 times. And I think that was another thing, again, just to add into the story of us winning it. It was always going to be us that won it. Like, because he had to get that fifth title, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was crazy. Stimo's really good.
I think what you said about the man management, Georgie will know, I'm not good being on the bench. Like, he has a way of making you feel like you're a part of it, even if you are on the bench. And he made me feel like I could single-handedly come off the bench and win that game on my own. That's how he makes you feel. And you can't have credit. No credit you can enough to him.
I mean, at half-time he said as well, like, obviously Ruffy weren't in the change room, he would have been warming up, but Stimo said, like, sometimes you need them extra 2 or 3 players to come on and change a game. And when he made the changes, like, quite early in the second half, what was it, the hour mark that he brought you and Dicko on?
60, something like that.
And I mean, I thought on the pitch, it might be a bit too early. Like, he took our captain off as well, which is a big call. Like, he took Higo off, who's been prolific for us. And yeah, I mean, listen, Ruffy and Dicko just took us up that extra gear that we needed. And Nashi came alive as well. It's sort of like he got another sort of gear out of it as well.
I think it's kind of not just me, but when I come on, we had a couple of chances. And we were winning the ball higher up. And I think the kind of momentum just changed in the game. Not necessarily down to me, but just as a team. It just kind of changed the way we were playing, and we just sped things up. And then, like we said, when we knew we got the equaliser, we knew we were going to go on to win it.
Coming on at 1-0 down, was your heart like racing? You know, when the manager says warm up, you're in Wembley, fans are there doing the jog at 1-0.
Do you know what?
What's that like?
Do you know what? It's really funny because if you watch the game back and there's when Nashi scores, I get on the ball and I'm doing my little kick ups and you can hear Gaffer screaming at me, just going, "Enjoy the ball, enjoy the ball, enjoy the ball," and that's what he allows me to do. He doesn't ever. He might moan at me about a little bit of tracking back or pressing someone, but on the ball and things like that, he'll never ever try and take that out of my game. So it gives you confidence. And he just said to me, he said, just go out there, enjoy it, play like you are with your mates and go and win us a game. And it fills you with all the confidence in the world to know that you've got a gaffer that has that much faith in you. And it makes you feel like you can do anything. So.
With like, before we move on, just talking about some of your players, especially Liam Nash, like, boy, the kid was on fire, like, scoring big goals, like, last-minute winners. I think he scored, like, 7 goals in 8 games, and he even scored in the final. How crucial has he been throughout the season for you guys, like, popping up in those
Nash is
last
terrible.
minutes?
He just knows where the goal is.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Like,
but that's what you need in a striker, though, isn't it?
He knows where the goal is.
yeah, he does, mate. Like, Nashi's probably had a hard time of it in his career. Like, he's sort of been here, there, and everywhere. He's had a few clubs and things ain't worked out for him. But I think him coming to a team like Hornchurch, where we got some good players, like some very good players for our level, but the biggest part of our team is like the belief and the hunger that we have and how we work hard for 90 minutes or 120 minutes, whatever it is. And he bought into that, to be fair. And if he didn't buy into that, he wouldn't have scored the goals that he did. But yeah, like, top goal scorer in a competition like that, like that's big. So yeah, you got to take your hat off to him, and he's probably not thought that he was that type of player that would work as hard as he did. But
no, he does work really hard.
Yeah, hard work. It proves if you work hard, you get the results, and he certainly got that. So fair play to him.
Moving on to the captain, Ricky Hills, who's been at Billericay, Dulwich. What was that like, having him at the back, experience there, and then to come out and lift the cup, man? Like, talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, I play alongside Rick, and like, for me as a fullback, like, I like to get on, I like to get involved in like things going on high up the pitch, and having someone like that next to you, it allows you to do that. Like, there's not a minute the ball goes over my head that I know that Rick ain't gonna be there. Like, he's solid, and for his age as well, like he can shift. Like, seriously, he can shift. Like, I think last year, maybe before Ruffy came in, we had Marvin Morgan. He had a spell at Hornchurch, and I remember them two arguing for ages about who was quicker, and they had a race. In training one day, and it surprised me, mate. Rick can move, like, Rick can proper move.
He reminds me of Wes Morgan, I can't lie.
Yeah, nah,
he
he's
so
solid.
Slow, old, but like defending, like, he's good. Like, heading, organising, you know, giving the team that belief from the back. Like, that's a Wes Morgan for me. And to be fair, Wes Morgan has won the Premier League, and he won the FA Trophy for you guys. So
the thing with Rick is he's a winner, and he demands a lot of you. Like, he's pulled me on countless occasions when I'm doing the wrong things and things like that. But I would say the main, like, experienced heads, also Spence, they're so good at pulling you at the right times. If you're not doing something right, they won't always just moan at you. Sometimes it's needed, but other times it might be just a little chat, just one-on-one, and say, why, like, I think there was a stage where I was coming late to training, and I had Rick and Spence both collar me and say, like, you can't be doing this, like, and it doesn't always have to come from the gaffer. Sometimes them experienced players pull you and have little chats, and you respect them.
The only reason you turn up late to training is because, like, the money's coming in. You don't mind paying them fines. That's why you're late.
I wish. I pay to play.
No, but obviously moving on. What's like the atmosphere in it? Obviously, it's just you boys, no one around. What was the atmosphere after every game like? What was that like? You know, coming from behind and then winning, scoring late goals. I feel like scoring late goals are like brings the team together in ways you can't even describe. So what's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the early stages, like, I think the first game we played was Bowers, then we had Wingate, then we went to Tonbridge and Dulwich. I think them games, they were just sort of like another game, like, because obviously Wembley's like so far away from that. Like, you're still at that point not thinking about getting to the final or even winning the trophy. So them games, yeah, they were good. We won, like it was great, but you sort of move on from that quickly. Like, when's the next game? When you playing the next game? And then the game after that was Maidstone, and I think after that game, like you said, like that was like probably one of the worst but best games of football.
Yeah.
Like 9 goals in a game. I think we won 5-4 in the
There
end.
was
Like,
a red card in there as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
red cards.
But that feeling after the game of knowing that we've beat 3 teams now in the league above. We then drew Kings Lynn, I think.
Yeah, and people forget about the Kings Lynn.
And the Kings Lynn was a
tough
tough game, like really tough game.
Team in
Again,
the National League, right?
Yeah, they're
I
also
didn't
National
didn't
League.
play, but that went to penalties and mate, right, he saved 3 pens on the spin. Like that's unheard of. Like listen, for me, penalties is one of them. It don't matter what level of football you're at. Like a player should be scoring a penalty. Like let's have it right. Whether you're playing at like Hackney Marshes or if you're playing at the Euros, like you should be scoring a pen. Like that's 8 yards out. Like it's standard. But righty to save 3 pens from 3 players that are 2 leagues above us, mate. That was pretty special. And funnily enough, he sent a photo to the group chat yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
So our chairman had a bet with Righty and said that if you save a penalty against Notts County, you can borrow my Lamborghini. So I swear down. So Righty's been driving a Lamborghini about all weekend. It's madness, bro.
Yeah.
How mad's that?
He hasn't even had to go anywhere. He's just been driving around in the car park.
Wait, what we're doing that with?
Yeah, I know. Not
But that's crazy. I mean, like, what's he been like throughout the course of the season? You know, when you have a goalkeeper like that, I always feel like you always have a chance, and like the belief that he can spread throughout the team. You know, pulling off big saves. What's that been like throughout the course of the
I
season?
think he's been unreal, to be fair. If you look back at every game, I don't think you can blame him for a goal. I don't think that you can say that goal was his fault. But then also, some of the saves he's made, I think of one at Darlow. There's been ones at Kings Lynn that he made where he tipped one round the post. I think it was 1-1, wasn't it?
the one at Notts County for me stands out the most. We went 1-0 down early doors and
and that would have
we
been
was
2-0.
backs to the wall and he made a save literally 2 minutes later, and if that had gone in, that'd have been 2-0, and I think that would have been probably the last roll of the dice. So for me, that save stood out the most. But yeah, Righty's class, and the best thing about him as well is his technique's like second to none.
You even think
like,
in the early stages, like the penalty we won at Dulwich, come from Righty kicking the ball long, and like he's just everything you want in a keeper.
Yeah, he's like another outfield player at times. Like you give the ball back to him, he's comfortable. Like I played with him at Enfield before Hornchurch, and I've seen him like dink strikers and that. Like ball coming towards him, he just dinks it over him and plays out. Like he's good. And as a defender, having someone like that behind you don't have to worry about what's going on. Whereas sometimes, like you said, like you can have a keeper.
Shaky hands.
Crisp packet hands. You're worried. Like ball goes past you, and you know it could be going in the net. But yeah, Righty's class, mate.
I feel like we've all had them keepers where, like, you know, like being a defender, you've got to be on your A game every game
100%.
because if a shot goes through, you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like we've all had them ones now. But moving on. You had to wait quite a while before you played the final game, right? Because it was like
7 weeks, I think,
like
6-7 weeks.
More than a month away. Like like what was the anxiety like? Like what was the tension like?
I don't think it really like hit anyone until maybe like the week of, because you think it's so far away, but then it comes around so quick, and I think we were just more tired from keep doing doggies. We've done about 9 pre-seasons this year.
Yeah,
like because obviously we weren't playing, and I think the reason probably Gaffer's quite superstitious. We didn't play any games.
Yeah,
we had no friendlies. But before the final, you were allowed to play football again, like matches. So he could have took an option to play against other teams, but he didn't take up the option. And I don't know whether that's because we didn't throughout the other games and it's like a superstition thing. But we didn't play any games, so.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of build up around like us. Like as in Hornchurch, not us as players, but like it was the first time they'd ever been at Wembley. Like it was the first time that a team at our level had got to the final. Like if we won it, it would be the lowest ranked team that's ever won it. So there was so much build up around Hornchurch, and it was trying to like stay away from that and just think about the game rather than the occasion. And And like Ruffy said, like we had 7 weeks of like hard work, like hard graft.
Yeah, it was graft.
But listen, it was all worth it when we lifted the trophy.
Sounds
on the
like
day,
you lot are
man.
just milking it so that when your manager hears this, you don't do
Yeah, I'm hoping for an easy pre-season this time round. I'll be honest, like.
To be fair, at times it's soul destroying because you're not playing matches.
Yeah.
So for 7 weeks you're just running, but. Look, at the end of the day, if you had told me just run for 7 weeks and you win at Wembley and score,
Yeah,
then I'd take it. You know what I mean? But it worked out in the end, and we come home with it. So
when does it hit you guys that like you're about to play at Wembley? Because I feel like when I was obviously watching Ellis's build up, I feel like I started to believe that. Oh my gosh, like Ellis is about to play at Wembley when he started buying shirts with the names on his back, giving it to his families and friends. So when did it start kicking in for you? And what was that like, like getting ready to invite your family and friends now that fans were allowed back in
I don't
the
speak
stadium?
to people now about it.
No, mate,
Some families
that
don't
part
like
was a
it
bit
anymore.
stressful to be fair, wasn't it? The
that's so
tickets part,
stressful.
because obviously it was a limited
So
capacity,
stressful.
so it was like planning a wedding. You had to choose people who you wanted to be there. Like it was
Richard's
tough.
getting
Like there was a few people that didn't get the nod, and I know they're probably still a bit fuming about it. But no, listen, it was just nice to have them there because at one point it looked like there was going to be no one there.
Yeah.
Like
Look at Concord.
yeah, obviously
Played in
Concord played in the trophy final from last year, the week before, and there was no one there. So for a long time it looked like we weren't going to have anyone. And then when the FA said that there was going to be, was there 6,000 in the end for our game?
No, I think it was 10,000
in total. And
we
then,
had 3, didn't we?
yeah, so
And
I
they
think
had
us and
3.
Hereford.
And then the games before had 1,000 each, and then the
Yeah.
rest went to NHS.
Yeah, so yeah, it was just nice to have like family and friends and girlfriends, whatever, children. Like some of the boys that have got kids had the kids there. So
But
yeah,
it was emotional after.
Yeah.
It's like my old dear was in tears, and
Yeah.
it hits hard because it's something like.
it's a dream. It's a dream for them as much as it is
Yeah,
for
of
us.
course.
Like
Yeah.
if you can imagine, like I'm not a dad myself, but I can imagine what my dad was feeling on that day. Like he's taken me to probably countless games of football.
Yeah.
So you've made other people's dreams come true, not just yourself. So yeah, like Ruffy said, it was emotional after the game, very emotional, but something that we can always say we've done. So
No, credit to you, boys, because it's crazy. Because literally, I had my final on that day. Obviously, not as big as yours, but hey, I had a final on that day. We won, and I remember like just coming out the change room, and I was like, I need to check something. I look at my phone, and I'm seeing 1-0 down. I start losing my head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to call everyone. I even call George. I call George, like ringing off his line. I'm like, George, let me watch the game. FaceTime it, turn the TV. He's like, bro, get out of it. I'm like, fam, like the boys are playing. Next thing you know, George is snapping, saying, 1-0, come on, Ruffy. Like, and I was just like, that's crazy. And then obviously, like, the one that done it for me was like, I checked my phone, it's 1-1. I'm like, no way. 2-1. The next minute, I'm seeing 3-1, I said.
Yeah.
And then when I see Ellis as well,
Ellis.
I said, no way. That's when I went mad. And then to see Ellis putting up Gunman.
Gunman Ellis. That's his new nickname. Chat, innit?
Mate, that is
Just,
Gunman.
Gunman.
just shooting up the place now, but you can just tell, like, when moments like that happen, like, you just lose all composure.
Yeah, all
like,
composure.
Do you know, it must be a nice feeling, because I also saw his dad cry, you know,
Yeah.
from his friend's snap, so that must be crazy, and, like, has it even hit home yet? Like,
When I scored, I'd done about 8 celebrations. Looked up to the crowd, Shearer, then knee slides. But I think now it has kind of sunk in, but you still don't believe it. In the same regards, like it's kind of done now. Season's gonna, and we're not happy with what we've just done. We want to go and do more as a team. We want the league. We want to go and win the league. We got the team that we think are good enough. Most of the boys are sticking together, so that's what we're now focusing on. Pre-season soon, you just got to get ready for that.
Yeah, no, it'll be tough next year because
A lot of teams will want to beat us.
yeah,
100%.
we're quite a big stamp now. Like winning something like that, there's going to be teams that
Just
are
wanna
going to
do
want to
over,
beat us
yeah.
just because of what we want. So yeah, next year will be tough, but yeah, I think it has sunk in. Like I went and picked up my shirt that I got framed from the final yesterday, and it's mad little things like that. You just stand there and look at it, and you go like, that actually happened. Like we actually played at Wembley, and not just that, but we won it as well. Like so. I think it has sunk in, like Ruffy said.
But certain things remind you.
But,
and
yeah.
it makes you go a bit like, oh,
Yeah.
that's mad that happened. Like you'll look at a photo of like the day but the celebrations, and I'm not even joking, was the maddest celebrations we had were against Darlington.
Yeah.
That wasn't even like after Wembley. It was more emotional.
Yeah.
Like everyone was on their phone to family. It wasn't like what you'd think it'd be.
100%.
Like it was a lot more chilled. But we made up for it the week after.
Yeah,
we made
that
up
was a
for
good
it.
night out, wasn't it?
Don't worry, we made up for it.
What, do you want to drop any secrets or like?
Oh no, we just went out all together and just
Yeah,
went up London.
the less said about that night, the better. I think.
Yeah. And that is- I can't actually remember any of it anyway, so it don't matter.
Says a lot about your night, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah, what was her name?
Steady.
He's bashing. I'm actually gonna hit you up after.
You played at Wembley,
don't
mate.
worry,
Relax.
don't worry,
relax.
don't
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, I was just about to say, you boys are now local heroes. So, like, when you go around the area of Hornchurch, or maybe in your local area, like, is your chest a bit high, head up, like, walking down the street and they're like, oh, he played at Wembley, he scored at Wembley, man, a match at Wembley. Like, what's that?
All my pals tell everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go out somewhere and they'll go, you played it. Yeah. Like they'll just shout it. Like if they like a girl or something, they'll go, he scored at Wembley last week. And
What
I'm
about
like,
what about the
try and
day
play it
after
humble.
when we played golf? So
Oh,
we
yeah.
went and played golf on the Monday after the game, and we finished about 1 o'clock or whatever. And Ruffy ordered up a Jaeger bomb, and the waitress went to him like, "Oh, it's a bit early in the week to be celebrating, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, he scored at Wembley on Saturday." And the waitress went to him, "Oh, are you Charlie Ruff?" I swear, mate, he was so gassed. He was, if I could have taken a photo of his face, it was so funny, mate.
I was buzzing. I was buzzing.
Did he keep his composure? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I went,
that's it.
No, I done that, but it's alright. Like,
Yeah, that was funny, mate. That was a good story.
You've just been milking this moment.
Oh,
innit?
1,000,000%.
What luck with the girls going on?
Nah.
I don't believe.
Nah, just good boy, ain't I? So.
Yeah, you got to say that on camera anyways.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
moving on. One question I wanted to ask though, is it the classic saying, "Do not play the occasion, just play the game." How much do you believe? I don't believe that, but how much of you guys do you believe that? I believe not everyone gets to arrive at such occasion, so I believe you should play it. So I just wanted to know.
Well, Gaffer bashed that into us, didn't he? He said whoever plays the occasion is gonna lose.
Yeah.
And he said whoever just enjoys the day and plays as like this ain't Wembley. You're just playing a game. Is gonna win, and that's what we took it as, and that's what he kept saying to us.
Yeah, no, there's a fine line of, like you said, playing the occasion and playing the match. Like, I think I'd say for us, for the first 15 minutes, we didn't play the game. Like, we were poor. Like, we couldn't get a foot on the ball. I don't think we made 5 passes. Like, there was a few heads looking around, like, looking at the seats, looking at the site. Like, so it was hard. And it's hard not to do that.
Yeah,
when you're in a stadium like that, like, you've dreamed about it as a kid, it's hard not to get wrapped up in it. But I think, especially after half time and once Gaffer made the changes, like, we did play the game and we done what we've been doing the whole time in the whole run, and that was playing on the front foot, getting the ball forward, breaking the lines, putting the ball in behind, and scoring good goals, which, apart from Ruffy's, they were good goals. I mean, especially Els as well. Like, I know he's your mate. Like, where he found them legs from in the 96th minute, it's beyond me, mate. Like, he must have run 80 yards with the ball.
About 5 minutes before that as well.
That's what I wanted to know. Like, the pitch at Wembley seems so massive, and like to see Ellis just like roast 2 guys. And then just stick it.
Just open his legs up.
Ellis, the finish. but you scored. But yeah.
OG from the keeper.
No, but that's just crazy. So like all the fitness and that has helped. But I wanted to know, like, family, FA Trophy, Wembley. Did you feel any pressure? Like,
I don't know.
I think for me personally, like, I got sent off during the cup run. I've been sent off a few times last year, and a lot of my friends and family said, just make sure you don't get yourself sent off. So that was sort of playing in my mind a little bit. So I wouldn't say there was pressure on it, because there was no pressure on us as a team. Like, if we won, great. If we lost, we'd done what we'd done to get there. But I think there's more pressure on yourself. Like, you put that pressure on yourself to play well and perform and and do what you're good at. So I'd say not pressure from other people, but definitely pressure on yourself for sure.
I think when we spoke, I always say I need my first pass to be good, and you always say you need to make a tackle.
Yeah.
If you make a tackle, then you're happy. And I think you made one about 10, 15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it was an unbelievable tackle. And for me, when I come on, I'd done a turn and played a pass, and I was like, all right, I'm kind of here now, and I wasn't really nervous. And maybe because I was coming off the bench. And
maybe because you're Charlie Ruff.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe because I come off the bench and we were 1-0 down, and I kind of didn't feel that pressure because I was like, I can only help now.
Yeah.
I can only go and help win the game. If we don't, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think, I was more nervous about Notts County, personally, than Wembley.
That was a big game.
Yeah, I don't know. Wembley didn't really get me nervous. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But then you'll go and play other games and you could be
10 times worse.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy to think, like, with the Euro starting, the same pitch you guys played and done a madness on?
No, I couldn't
the
believe I
likes
didn't
of
get a
Harry
call up.
Kane.
Southgate obviously didn't watch.
I mean, with the way Harry Kane's playing, you might have to be in Southgate.
Yeah, mate, I know. I'm going to pull him actually about that.
It is mad. I mean, obviously England have had 2 games, and both games, I think about 5 people have messaged in the group saying, like, this stadium's crap, isn't it? But yeah, no, listen, it's mad. It's like you said, like, there's some top quality players that have played Prem, like played maybe even Champions League, that haven't played there. Like, so for us to have stepped out on that pitch, it's madness. And listen, hopefully it ain't the last time. Like,
Hopefully, man.
You never know. Like,
we're going for the FA Cup next year anyway, so it's all right.
All right. No, but one thing, that's a good point that you mentioned it. Why is it that when teams have a good cup run, they do bad in the league? Like, you guys were like 8th in the league and you had a good cup run, and then Haringey Borough have a good run in the league and run in the FA Cup, and then in the league they do so poor. Like, what's that about?
Well, to be fair, I didn't start the year at Hornchurch, but I think you lost quite a few games early.
Yeah, we didn't.
So they need a Charlie Ruff.
No, not even that. It helped.
Shock.
It helped, but no. But we didn't really play that many games.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the season got null and voided. The year before got null and voided. I think we were sitting 6 points off top, so we were in a good position then. And then this year, we didn't start particularly well. And obviously had a good cup run. But it's weird, you're right. Like, when teams seem to have that run, like I remember Haringey had the run. One of my mates, Mark Kirby, played for him at the time. I went and watched them when they played. I think it was Wimbledon. And they weren't doing well in the league. I think it's hard not to focus on the cup when you're like getting so far into it. It's hard not to, because they're massive games, and the money that it brings for the clubs at our level is ridiculous. Like, you're not going to earn that money from winning the Isthmian League. Like, it's not going to happen. So playing in cup games, the money, I think the prize money for the game we won was like £60,000. Like, that's crazy amounts of money for a club like Hornchurch. Like, there's a lot of things that have been going on at the club that they probably wouldn't have been able to afford it without that. So, yeah, it's hard not to focus on that cup run. And maybe the reason that the teams don't do as well in the leagues is because we don't have big squads. Like, we're not like Prem teams where they have like 26-man squads plus 26 youth team players that they can bring in. Like, we don't have that. And we've probably got 18-man squad, 19-man squad. So it is hard to play 2 games a week at that intensity and win every single game. It's not going to happen. So,
and I think if you go into, say, if we knew we were going to Wembley and we still had a league campaign, and we're pushing for playoffs, people are still thinking about Wembley.
Of course they are.
So they're going to play within themselves, maybe not make a tackle that they should make because they don't want to get injured. So maybe
speak for yourself, mate.
Yeah, I don't tackle anyway. It don't matter where I'm playing. So.
No, but is there, like, when you go into games now, if someone was to, like, be cheeky towards you, be like, oh, like, they foul you and they're like, get up, and you're like, mate, I'll play that. Are you going to start dropping those lines?
Do you know what? We had a Sunday League Cup final. You
done it already? You dropped it?
No, I didn't drop it.
Poor.
I didn't drop it. But my mates were like devastated. I went, don't worry, boys. I won at Wembley for us. Don't worry. So it was all right. But no, I don't think. I think like banter with your mates, but I wouldn't drop it in a serious thing. If someone was trying to give it, I wouldn't go, oh, I scored at Wembley. I wouldn't drop it in that way. But with banter with your mates, 100%. All the time, I drop it to them.
You touched on the money that the tournament brings in to clubs like Hornchurch. They wouldn't be able to do things without the money. So what, pay rises, bonuses? How's that looking?
They looked after us.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
looked after us.
the fact that the club weren't making any money through league games, because obviously that got null and voided back in November. The club were good to us. Like we were paid the whole way through.
That's credit to
the bonuses that we received were helpful. Like listen,
some of them got spent on the same night.
Yeah,
some of them got spent on the same night.
No, I just got engaged, and the bonus that we received from the cup final helped towards pay for that. So that was nice. Cheers, brother. Thank you.
So are those friends that weren't invited to Wembley invited to the wedding?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they'll want to come, to be honest. That's up to them, isn't it? No. The club were good to us. Very good to us. Me personally, I didn't play for 3 of the games, so I was suspended and was still financially sorted out. So credit to the chairman and the board for doing that for us, because they didn't have to. There was a point, I think, in the cup run after the Dulwich game, they said, look, in all honesty, we don't know if we can pay you for the next month before the Maidstone game. And we all sort of sat down and said, well, we're going to play the game anyway.
Yeah.
So we played it. And then after the Maidstone game, they then said, look, credit to you boys for still showing up 2 times a week to train, and then obviously play the Maidstone game, and they continued to pay us. So, full credit to Sharpie, the chairman, and Colin, and even the gaffer as well, because he probably could have made the decision to let a few players go to save some money. But they didn't do that. They stuck by us, and fair play to them for that.
Football was more than just a game, but hey, what's this quote going around? Just a pub team. Where did this come from?
So basically,
it was a Darlington
when
game,
we
wasn't
played
it?
Darlington, they were absolutely bashing us.
Yeah,
calling
so
Higo overweight.
they streamed the game. For anyone to watch, whether you're Darlington Hornchurch fan or just wanted to watch a game of football. So first of all, credit to them for doing it. They didn't have to do that, but they had a guy, I'm pretty sure in saying he was the Darlington manager about 10 years ago, and I'm sure that they played Hornchurch, and throughout the game, I was watching it because it was another game that I didn't play, so I was sat in the hotel across the road from the stadium, me and 2 of the other boys watching the game, and I don't know what he'd been eating that morning or what he'd been drinking, but the way he was talking about us was just ridiculous, and he did actually at one point say we're just a pub team and Darlington will beat us comfortably. So I think that's when it stemmed, and it just stuck.
Yeah,
there's a guy putting together a book about the game, so we've had to sort of put a piece in each between the players, and I think they're talking about title in the book, just a pub team from Hornchurch, but I don't think they should use that, because I think that's a disservice to what we've done. We're not a pub team. We've proved that by winning the trophy and beating teams that should be beating us. So.
But the way the geese.
But it was fun. It's funny, isn't it?
But
you've called us that, and we've then gone and won it. So
that's what I was gonna say.
Makes it worse for them.
Success, even better for them.
Yeah.
Better for you guys.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just a pub team to go and win it. What
exactly.
are they then if they?
Yeah, exactly.
It was the geezer that was saying all these things. He was literally going on like they were Chelsea, and we were literally a Sunday league team, and we just all rolled out of bed, hungover. They were only a league above us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we just kind of kept it with us. I don't know. It just kind of like Mick said, it just stuck. Wouldn't change it now.
No, no chance.
Hey man, get me to Wembley. Honestly, get me to Wembley. Do you know? I would say I've been close, but I doubt it, man. When I look back at my career, all I've done is won a promotion and a London Cup. That's about it. But I think I might have to go Wembley.
Give it a go, mate. It's all right. Honestly.
I have to get down at Hornchurch first. So what we saying? I know you play right back, but you might as well sit this one out.
Take it in turns.
Well, I don't mind. You done it.
Yeah, no. It's better coming off the bench anyway. You ain't got to run around.
Hey, what's the banner on the bench like?
Do you know what? It's
there's some good people in
there.
Yeah, some good backroom staff, man. Tony Gaze.
Geezer has you in tears all day.
He's a proper character.
He's crazy. You have a conversation with him, and then he'll go to a different conversation. But he said he's the best coach. What is it? The best
changing room coach.
Yeah, in the world. Best changing room coach. So all he does is he just goes around, bit of banter, but he's good. I mean, we're a good team. Like, it's a good laugh with the boys.
Yeah, it's a good group. Like, and
Horrible
I think,
group though.
yeah, oh yeah,
Bunch of wrongins.
No, it's just everyone's horrible to each
horrible,
other.
mate. It is poisonous.
Yeah,
It's
What,
poisonous.
toxic manner?
Yeah, proper
yeah.
toxic.
Oh,
mate.
you got
No one
hurt.
says anything nice about anyone.
No.
So.
What they said about you, but now it's like, oh, you're
Well,
Charlie.
I don't know.
Don't matter. He scored at Wembley.
I don't really get slated. I just keep quiet.
Oh,
I just keep quiet. I don't get involved.
Just dodging bullets.
No, I don't really get slated. I know when I have a bad game, I do. But
No, I don't know why I thought of this, but it's interesting though. What was the song that you went out to at Wembley? I just find like it's
when we scored.
No, like when you know, like before the game and like you're doing your bits in the change room and like you're getting ready to go out. Whoever's on the DJ plays a song. What was that one song that you guys played?
So there weren't. I don't know if there was a song that we had before we went out, but there was a song that we always played after the game. Ain't no stopping us now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And after the Dulwich game, I think the gaffer mentioned it, and we played that song after every game. So that was like the song of the cup run, if you like. But yeah, I don't think we had one before.
Nah,
I think
it was just a mix.
especially the Wembley game as well. Obviously, everyone had their own faults, and everyone was trying to get themselves in some sort of headspace to play a game of football. So it was more probably just sitting down and trying to get your head on it. But yeah, after the game, that was probably the song, and then obviously the song that we used to sing on the bus as well.
Yeah, well, Mickey created a song.
Yeah,
What is it?
part-time songwriter.
Yeah, he writes songs for us. That's what he does in his spare time when he's at home. He
Well,
just writes
because I was suspended for 3 games, I was like, oh, I need to get involved. Like, all the boys are doing their bit, like they're winning games. I need to do something. So I remember before the Darlington game, I was just sitting at home. I was thinking like, I'm gonna put a song together. And it's the ole 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 that song, and I just made a few lyrics up, but it just stuck, didn't it? It was alright, and the fans were singing it and that, so it was good. But the song that they played when we scored the goal, like it was funny. We all watched the highlights back on the Tuesday we got together, didn't we? And it was the first time that anyone had noticed that they played the horny song when we scored, and we were all like, "What's that all about?" Like, but then obviously realised because we're Hornchurch, that's why they played it.
So I'm sliding out on my knees and all I can hear is, I'm horny.
It was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, no wonder I got so many followers on Instagram after that.
How many of them you message?
Nah.
No, at Tooting, when we had our final, I think the song we went out to was I don't know, what's her name? Khalees, my milkshake brings other boys to the
Oh, was it? Yeah.
I'm chatting. Nah, we went out to I think it was Meek Mill, like, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That song.
Dicko's got a song that he always listens to, doesn't he?
Come on, man. Like,
Dicko
can't
just
remember
pumps
what it's
himself
called.
up. Dicko is...
He's another character,
Oh,
mate.
mate.
36 years of age. I've never met someone that loves himself as much. But fair play to him, man. Fair play to him.
Just
My last
goals are never
question.
done.
My last question to you boys. You've been at Wembley, scored, man of the match, won the trophy. What's next?
Yeah, I think like Ruffy said earlier, it's hard to come down from that game.
Yeah.
It's difficult because, like you said, a lot of people have spoke about it. Like even now, there's still people I haven't seen since the game that when I do see them now, they congratulate us, and that's great. But the gaffer said, the chairman said that we want to get out of this league and be at a higher level. So I think that aim has to be promotion next year. I think anything less will not be a good season for us, if I'm being honest. Whether we can do another trophy run, and I mean the gaffer won it back to back with Grays, I think, a few years ago. So listen, if that happens, that'd be unreal. But I do think solely the aim has to be to get out of the league and get promoted. So
You stay in the season?
Yeah, so I signed my contract, so I'm there for another year.
Contract. Us defenders.
Charlie
seriously.
Ruff, eh? Yeah, go on.
So yeah, no, I'm staying for another year, but it's many reasons why I enjoy it there. Obviously, the gaffer's good, all the boys are top, and we've got a good side, and we want to go and win things, and I want to go and win things.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing.
I think winning a league title. I don't know, when you got promoted, did you win the league or was it through?
No, so
playoffs?
I was at Hayes, but then I moved to Cheshunt, and then we went through the playoffs.
Okay, yeah.
So
So I mean,
we went
listen,
through them.
however you get promoted, it's still unreal. Like that feeling must be great. But I think to win a league, whatever level, like to win that many games over the course of a season, must be like a pretty good feeling. And I know there's maybe a couple of boys that were with Hornchurch when they won the league and got promoted into the league we're in now that have said like that feeling's different because it's over the course of like 7-8 months. So to do that would probably be as special as winning the trophy, to be honest. So yeah. that's the aim, and just got to get fit and get ready for that first game in August. So
hey boys, it's been an absolute
no, thanks for having us, mate. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Honestly, thanks for turning up. Really, I'm really blessed to hear your story, and I hope you guys at home are as well. Follow the boys on their journey as well. Make sure you follow Hornchurch, see what they're up to this season. But boys, girls, family, friends, take care. Peace out. It's been Ball Out. It's been Charlie. It's been Mickey. Catch you in a bit. Peace.
Thanks very much. All the best.